everyone. I know I haven't made a video in a few days, but I unexpectedly got called up to Belfast for an interview and then I had to come back down, and I dragged Cathal back down with me. So I was thinking we could maybe do a video together if I convince him, because he's really shy. But yeah, if you'd like to see a video with me and him, please do like this video so that he sees that you really want it badly. But yeah, so that's where I've kind of been the last few days, and I've just been kind of recuperating from the trip because it's a really long draining trip. But while I was up there, I did pick up 2 new beauty bits and I thought it would be kind of fun. I think this is a first for me actually, to do a kind of first impressions video, because I've never done one and I usually enjoy watching them. I know Judy's Life does really good ones. But I'm kind of going to do, I guess, my own spin on it. There's going to be no really plan to it, but I'll probably revisit 2 or 3 times during the day and just tell you how I'm getting on with it, and of course give you like an initial first impression review of what I think of the products. Now the 2 products are from Bourjois, which I've been meaning to try for a really long time. I don't know why, it's just a brand I've never really delved into too much. I think the same guy that does the Chanel foundations does the Bourjois, some of the Bourjois makeup line as well, so I thought it'd be kind of fun to compare, because as you know, I did work for Chanel for I guess about a year in total now. I've worked at 2 different Chanel counters and I'm really familiar with their foundation. Unfortunately I never found one that was either the right shade or the right consistency or the right coverage for me personally, which kind of put me off buying this for a little while, because I thought that maybe all the Bourjois I know foundations might be like the same as the Chanel ones, because I know a lot of people compare them. It would have been Orla from Makeup Over Mind. I'll put her blog and her YouTube in the down bar. She's a really good Irish beauty blogger, so I leave her in the down bar for you guys. I think it was her that did a blog post on this, and it is the Bourjois Healthy Mix Serum, which is going to be the first product that I'm going to be, I don't know, doing a first impressions on today. And it is a gel foundation, 16-hour radiance boosting, even revived complexion, and it has all that kind of good energy boosting vitamins and all that stuff inside it. But I just really like the sound of it. Sound of serum, sounds quite moisturising. Of course you guys know I have dry skin, and I'm pretty sure just everything she said about it in the blog post really was what I was looking for in a foundation. So I thought while I was up there, it was only £10.99 in Boots. I thought I'd pick it up because I thought that was a really reasonable price to try out a new foundation. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I heard someone say that this is nearly €20 in the south, which is like insane for a drugstore foundation. But while I was up there, it was £10.99. I said I'd grab it, and I got the shade 53, which I swatched on my jawline, and it was between 53 and 54, and 53 was the one that kind of just like blended into my skin and you couldn't even see it. So that was the shade that I went for. And then I also picked up, this is a new product I think, but it's the Bourjois Bronzing Primer, base Le Santé Soleil, tinted smoothing primer, evens and mattifies. So I guess when you see it, it looks like a bronzing sort of mousse, which of course the first thing you think of is the Universal Bronzer from Chanel. So I was really interested to compare and see what they were like. I never bought the Universal Bronzer because I thought it was a bit too dry on my skin, and the tone of it didn't really complement my skin either, but it does look brilliant and amazing on paler skins and kind of just typical Irish skin tones. It looks really good, but just for my skin type and my skin tone, I wasn't really digging it. But I thought that this was kind of a great product to see in drugstore, because as you know, like Universal Bronzer is one of like the best selling products from Chanel. So I thought it'd be nice to do a little comparison. Now on first kind of look, or first, like I did like swatch it a little bit because I did some blog pictures and stuff like that. So if you want to see like a true colour of this, then it will be in the blog post below along with this video, and you can kind of see a close up of the colour and the texture. But yeah, it just kind of looks like a very whipped sort of consistency, and already right off the bat I can tell it's a completely different consistency to the Universal Bronzer. In my opinion, it's a lot more liquid. I don't know, it's definitely way more moussey, and I think this would be a little bit better for my skin type as well, because I might be able to work with it a bit more because my skin is slightly dry. Bare face and the scraped back hairband, which makes my hair look horribly frizzy and flat. But of course this is a first impressions video, so I need blank canvas to work on. I really like the colour that it is at the moment. So I'm going to dot it on my face. I'm going to start buffing. I'm sorry, I have a little mirror here, so it's distracting, I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm going to take the buffing brush from, I think it's the Cork collection from Real Techniques, and I'm just going to buff it in. Smells, first, like already off the bat, it definitely is like perfumed with something, but I'm actually quite enjoying the smell of it. I don't really, it smells, again, it smells, you know what it smells like? It smells like the Hydra Max again from the Chanel moisturiser. I think that's lotus flower. There's definitely like a really strong scent from that. So if your skin is sensitive, allergic to perfumed products, this might not be for you. And it's going on really, really smooth. I like what I'm seeing so far. It's blending really, really nicely into my skin. It feels really nice. It feels kind of moisturizing, but it doesn't, I don't think it looks like super dewy or anything. It looks like more of a satin sort of finish to me, or it feels like it. Completely evened out my skin tone. It's still giving me a little bit of colour. It's maybe, I have a tendency to go a bit too light with my foundations, a bit too pale, but I feel like this is about a third of a shade darker than my face, which is okay. It just gives me a little bit of life, and I don't know, I really like it so far. It hasn't corrected under my eyes too well, but that's okay. My skin itself looks really, really nice, and I don't know, just even, and it still kind of looks like my skin. So I'm fairly happy with that. So I've put on my concealer. I know I look like a little bit of an alien, a bit overload on the Kim K look. A little bit of mascara on now as well. Not my favourite one, but it'll have to do. And I'm going to try the bronzing primer next. Now, I don't know if you're supposed to put this like before or after your foundation. It says wear alone or under your foundation or powder, which is probably the way I would usually use it. I think this would be really nice on bare skin, just to kind of even out the complexion, make you look a bit more tanned, you know, that kind of effect you get on holidays. But I'm actually going to try it over my foundation because I think that's the way a lot of people are going to go about it. And I'm just going to pat the excess into the back of the lid because I don't know how strong this is going to come out on my skin. Now let's give it a go. I'm going to go for kind of a bronzed look, maybe contour my temples a bit, but I'm not going to take it into the hollows too much. I'm going to leave it as sort of a bronzer look, I guess. Just where you put your kind of bronzer and blush. Okay, I quite like it so far. It's going on quite smooth, which I like. And it's blending in pretty well, I think. It's quite a natural effect from what I can see so far in my mirror. I don't know how it's coming out on camera, but we're going to take a little bit more of that and bring it up to the temples for a bit of contouring. Down the jaw, maybe a little bit on the apple of my chin. Okay, so that's with and without. I'm not really sure how it's coming out, but on the mirror I quite like it. It's a really, really natural effect bronzer, and it doesn't have like a super powdery finish, which I quite like. Again, it's kind of a satin sort of finish. It doesn't, even though you swatch it, it kind of feels like it's a cream to powder, but on the skin it looks more of a, I wouldn't say a cream either, it just looks like skin, which is quite nice. So I'm glad I tried it over the foundation as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. But I don't think this would be a great contour. God loves a small forehead. Just kidding, I'm only messing. Yeah, across my nose as well, just to give kind of an all over bronzed sort of look. Overall it gives a really, really nice, flawless, sort of just glowy bronzed skin look. I think the two products work really well together. So yeah, I really like it. What do you guys think? I definitely think it's like worth buying and worth trying. Definitely prefer it to the texture of the Universal bronzer. So if you've got drier skin, I'd recommend this one, let's say, over that one. Now about 11 o'clock, so quite late start to the day, but I'm going to check in. I'm going to go out and run some errands, as much as I hate that word. And yeah, I'm going to check in about 3 or 4 o'clock and maybe later again tonight. So I'll see you guys in a bit. And yeah, quite like it. Hello there. So it is around 7:10. It's golden hour outside, so I thought that I would film kind of, I don't know, my end of day reaction. Now the foundation does say that it is 16-hour wear, but I've only had it on maybe, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8. I don't know when. I put it on around 11 o'clock and it's just after 7, I think. So yeah, we're looking at about kind of a 7 to 8 hour time frame. So this is how the foundation looks. As you can see, it's pretty much the same. Now to me it has darkened ever so slightly, like fractionally a bit darker. So what I would say is, if you're going for it and you're kind of in between, stuck in between two shades, I would say maybe go for the lighter one, because when you get home, when you put it on after 10 or 15 minutes, it will get a little bit darker. So that's the only thing. I'm not too fussy about it. As you can see, it's a little bit darker than my neck, but it's really sunny at the moment, and one day out lying out in the sun and this would be an absolutely perfect match for me, because I tan quite quickly. I just haven't actually got around to tanning yet, I've been so busy. So I've been out all day long, I've been running errands, driving my parents from A to B all day, so I've been kind of, I don't know, every now and again I've been touching my face, and I don't know, I've been wearing my glasses driving and stuff, so I was kind of curious to see how it would hold up. It still looks pretty good, I think, apart from getting ever so slightly darker, but it hasn't really gone orange or anything like that, which is good. My T-zone is starting to get a little bit oily now, but it has been like nearly 7 or 8 hours and I didn't powder or anything, and it is a gel base. I thought the oiliness would be a lot worse, but I actually don't mind too much. Like a little bit of my natural oils come out around my T-zone, because I think it gives your face a nice sort of kind of glow and a bit of a radiance and a bit of, I don't know, just kind of, I suppose for me, I don't use kind of things like MAC Fix Plus to bring the moisture back into my face. I just like to let my natural oils throughout the day sort of put that like healthy glow sort of back in my face. So I don't really mind that it's a little bit oily around there. I mean, if you do have quite severe pores around there, I think this foundation probably would show those up if you didn't prime. Larger pores, I do think that without powder or without some kind of pore fighting primer, your pores would show up a little bit, but that's just the nature of most foundations anyway. I've got a few pores here and a few pores there, but they're very small, so I'm not really like picky about them. I mean, they make my skin look like skin, so I don't really mind about that. But overall, it hasn't been too oily or anything like that, just a little bit, but nothing that powder wouldn't fix if you did want to go all the way and wear it for like 16 hours. But I just prefer to see the finish of the foundation by itself. And yeah, I think it's pretty good. The bronzer as well fared pretty well. I do think, I don't know, I feel like it's not as strong as it was when I first put it on. It's still quite nice. It didn't stick to the dry patches too much or anything, but I did find in certain lights that, I don't know, that it was maybe just ever so slightly sticking to the dry patches, but I think that's me just being really like scrutinizing it a lot. In reality, it looks completely fine, and if you just want to give yourself a very light kind of, I don't know, bit of colour, it's a very nice product to use. And even though it says it's supposed to go under makeup, I personally think it probably works better over makeup, and that most people would wear it over makeup. Like I said, I do think, I haven't tried this just by itself on bare skin, but I think it would be absolutely lovely, and it does mattify as well. So if you just were like a no makeup kind of girl or a BB cream kind of girl, I think this would work really well. Also, I definitely recommend it for slightly oilier skins. Normal to oily skin is pretty good, but I mean, I have dry skin and it still looks pretty nice. I just think it would look really good on somebody with slightly oilier skin. By itself, the foundation doesn't really didn't wash me out. I felt like, I don't know how it showed up on camera, but I thought by itself it was also just a great looking foundation, and I really have nothing bad to say about it, apart from the fact that it did go a tiny, like a fractionally a bit darker a few minutes after I put it on, or you know, 15 minutes to half an hour sort of way. It did oxidize a little bit, but it didn't go orange, didn't go yellow, didn't go any like crazy colour. It just went ever so slightly a bit darker, so just watch out for that when you're choosing your shade. So overall, I'm pretty impressed with my first two Bourjois purchases in a very long time. This fella's a great little companion as well if you're kind of trying to ease yourself into the summer glow look but you haven't quite gone on holidays yet. So if you want to check out the blog post to see the kind of the texture of the foundation and the colour of the bronzing primer kind of in more real real light, I guess, then check out the blog posts below where this video will also be posted as well. Before it completely goes dark outside, I hope you've all had a nice day, and of course like this video if you want to see more first impressions. I guess this is my first one, it's a bit all over the place, but I do hope you enjoyed it anyway. And of course, like this video if you want to get Cathal to be in a video with me. Like I said, it is just a first impressions review of my first day using these products. My opinions may change in the future, and of course I'll let you know them in my favourites or my kind of hit and misses video. I'll see you in my next video, guys. As usual, peace.